regular meeting of the Calcasieu Parish Police Jury to order. We ask that you please silence your cell phones, and if there's any item on the agenda that you would like to speak on, we ask that you please fill out a blue slip and bring it to Miss Jessica at the front table. We'll now have the invocation and the pledge by Mr. Morkington.
Well, dear most gracious, wonderful Heavenly Father, thank you so much for this privilege to serve the people of Calcasieu Parish, dear Heavenly Father. Thank you so much for our country, for our leaders, and ask that we conduct our business, dear Heavenly Father, not so much pleasing to us, but make sure our business decisions are pleasing to you. We ask this all in the most wonderful, most precious, sweetest name, Jesus.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We'll now have the roll call, Madam Secretary.
Mr. Abshire?
Here.
Mr. Andropon?
Here.
Mr. Barris?
He's here.
Here. Mr. Burley?
Here.
Mr. Clement?
here.
Ms. Eason?
Here.
Mr. Guillory?
Here.
Mr. Hayes?
Here.
Mr. Landry is unable to attend tonight. Mr. Lewis?
Here.
Mr. Marcantel?
Here.
Mr. Quinn?
Here.
Mr. Smith?
Here.
Mr. Stone?
Here.
President Bartier?
Here.
And you have a quorum.
Thank you. Item 1A, recognition of the retirement of the Honorable Tony Mancuso, Sheriff of Calcasieu Parish, after 20 years of dedicated service. Oh, it doesn't get any better than this, y'all.
That's just because y'all getting rid of me.
Sheriff, can we tell the church's fried chicken story?
No, don't tell the church fried chicken. Tell whatever you want.
Well, Sheriff Mancuso, what can we say, guys? He's been in serving since what, 1984?
Yep.
That's a mighty long time, and he's been a great public servant to this area, to Calcasieu Parish, to our citizens, not only the citizens, but the youth. I saw where you were a baseball coach, soccer coach, and all kind of other coaches, right? You even coached Stitch Guillory, I heard.
Yeah. Not very coachable, but I tried.
So tonight, we just want to honor you, sir, and I'm sure some of the other jurors will have something to say. But I want to read this certificate first. It says, Certificate of Appreciation presented by the Calcasieu Parish Police Jury on this 23rd day of May 2024 to the Honorable Tony Mancuso, Sheriff of Calcasieu Parish, in honor, recognition, and sincere appreciation for 20 years of dedicated service to the citizens of Calcasieu Parish. Congratulations and best wishes on your retirement.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
And I'm sure at this point, everyone else will want to have something to say. So whoever, go first. Take off. We'll start with Mr. Abshire.
Just go around.
Let's just
Sheriff?
go all the way around if y'all have something to say.
Okay. Sheriff, I've enjoyed our time working together. We had a rough couple of years, many meetings with all of the public officials in the parish, and I enjoyed your insight, your suggestions, your input on how to best run our parish. You've done a great job in all your roles, and I wish you the best in your retirement. And I'm jealous. And Stitch, we look forward to working with you in the future.
Same
So,
here.
congrats.
Thank you.
Sheriff, some of the things that stick out is you've always been accessible, always approachable, at ease. You've taken the best interests of the citizens of this parish for their well-being. You've taken good care of your employees, and you've gone to bat for them. And you're going to be missed, but you've done an outstanding job, but you've earned your spurs to retire. So wish you all the best.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Sheriff Mancuso, Crime Stoppers pays cash.
Don't forget Derek.
You don't need your name. A code number will be assigned. You probably
Say
say
that in my sleep.
you probably say that in your sleep. Man, just how far back can we start, can we take this? And what a reputation, certainly outside of these parish confines, a respected man and a respected agency throughout the state. And it doesn't just happen. And I think you left us in some good hands, and I wish you well.
Sheriff, if they had a definition in Webster Dictionary for true leader, it would have your name by it. You know, a true leader surrounds himself with good people and then supports them and coaches them up. And when you look at the Calhoun Parish Sheriff's Department for the last 20 years, that's what we have. And that's because of you and your leadership. You have great people there. We're not going to fail with the staff that you left there and the guidance that you've given them, and with Stitch. Feel confident there. Just appreciate everything you've done for this parish and actually for Southwest Louisiana. Thank you.
Tony, I know you've given, I've been dealing with you for years. We've run cross paths, and you've given to the parish. I mean, and kind of Winston Churchill quote, you make a living by what you get, you make a life by what you give. And you've given to the parish for years, your whole adult life. I think you've served the public, that I remember. And it's appreciated, and you have a name in the community, and you will be remembered for generations as for your leadership, and we appreciate it.
Tony, I know you've been through a lot and done a lot, but you still don't look old enough to retire. That's a compliment, by the way. But I'm glad that you're able to retire young enough to enjoy yourself. I appreciate you. I thank you for serving with integrity. You make the rest of us proud, and I do believe you're leaving it in very good hands with Stitch over there. So thank you for your service.
Sheriff, when I was risk manager for the school board for about 20 years, I bet I called you or some of your people every day about something. We had 33,000 students. We had 12,000 miles every day of bus trips. Things were going to happen, and they did. From the time we found the drunk under the kindergarten teacher's table at DeQuincy, and it wasn't Jack. There was a time I stood at the front door of an elementary school. There was an inebriated father coming to get his child, and he was determined to get it, and he had a gun. And I'm standing there, and the principal comes up next to me, and she was about, 4 feet tall. And I said, I got to review my career choice here, because something ain't working. And y'all got him about 2 blocks from the school. But we're talking life and death situations here, Tony, and you guys saw it every day. And you handled it every day. And that's what makes you what you are. I can remember the time the hurricanes come through. I didn't feel good until I saw you on camera. And when I saw you on camera and heard what you had to say, the direction to go, what to do, and do it now, it was done. That's a leader. Thank you, buddy. Thank you for the years.
Sheriff, well, first of all, you didn't like when I got on TV? Just saying it.
We was waiting for the sheriff and Robin.
You were on TV?
Hey, Sheriff, there's more than 60 verses in the Bible of leadership. And I tell you what, you're one of the greatest leadership ever. You always had your doors open and everything. Every time I called, we went through the times, we went through the storm together and everything. I tell you what, and you are great. And before, because I don't know if a lot of guys know, I'd like for you to introduce both you guys here before you leave the podium. But thank you, Sheriff, for everything. Enjoy your retirement.
Those guys said everything, so I don't really say nothing but have a good retirement.
Well, Tony, I got friends and family all over the United States, and Calhoun Parish is not perfect, but when you talk to people, we're 100% better off than most places, and a lot of that's due to your staff and to you. And one good thing about you leaving, I think we're going to have more money in the budget, because Stitch told me he can run it on about half. Thank you for your service.
Well, Mr. Banks, I'm new to all this, so
so I haven't had all that experience with them. But I do remember a time when the local guard unit was sent to Iraq, and you were there to help us out and help us to support us when we left. So I do appreciate all that service that you're giving back to this community, and I think you've done a fine job, and I think you've definitely got a great staff, and I look forward to working with them. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Sheriff, for your service. I've been dealing with the Sheriff Department for about 20 years. You know, and your door has always been open. You know, I know you kind of don't like us. You know, our bail bondsmen always get on your nerves sometimes. But we do love you. And like I say, we want to make sure, make sure you do enjoy your retirement. And like I say, we always love calling you because you knew your door was always open. And your ear was always open to listen to all our concerns and issues that we always had. And since I've been on the jury, you know, you've always been very supportive of me, supportive of the whole jury, and we're definitely gonna miss you and definitely enjoy yourself.
Tony, thanks for everything. Like a couple of these other guys said, every time I called, you were there, always there. Thanks for your loyalty and your support for this community. And I just recently retired as well, so the first couple of days is going to be rough. I'm telling you, get ready. Get ready.
I've been beat up for 20 years.
I know you have. I know. But congratulations. You deserve it. Congratulations.
I think Mr. Beam has something he would like to say.
Thank you, Mr. Barty. Yeah, Tony, just I'm echoing everything that's been said, but none of us want all the hurricanes and the other disasters, but if you're going to have them, going through them with you, it just meant a lot. Ron is right. When you got up and spoke and said, here's what we need to do, people listen. And that is not an easy thing, especially in the trust that happens or lack of. And I just want to tell you, it's been an honor to work with you all these years, not just in emergencies, but diversity is what brings out the character of a person. And Tony is high character. And he also cusses more in private meetings. But we're going to miss you.
Well, Sheriff, again, we want to wish you a great retirement. I got a chance to speak to some people last night, and there was one individual I spoke to last night, and he told me he was with you on your very first campaign. And that says a lot about the person that you are. I mean, someone that you have continued that relationship with for probably over 30 years. So again, thank you for your service and good luck on your retirement. The podium's yours, sir.
Well, look, I know probably each and every one of you personally. We've worked together for 20 years, and I'm just grateful and thankful for all of your leadership. It's not just me. It takes all of us. I mean, let's face it, no one person can do this by themselves. My staff, Stitch, our new sheriff, I've been calling him sheriff for a couple months because I pretty much let him take over. And then Franklin Fondell is going to be one of his chiefs. He's put together a great staff that I know is going to take care of this parish. I have the most confidence in the world in him. But look, I'll be glad to get back on TV and help you during the storm, but it's going to be remotely because I'm going to be somewhere else. I can tell you it won't be here. So, but I love each and every one of you. I appreciate each and every one of you. I know, look, we've had some tough times. We've had arguments behind them doors, but when it came down to it, we were on the same page when we left those doors, and we worked for the same reason, the same purpose, and the same agenda. So that's all I ever wanted to do, was to make sure that we did it for the right reasons and not for selfish reasons or self, for doing it for selfish reasons. And I hope I didn't do that, and I don't think you do that. I don't think that's the kind of leaders that we have here. So thank you, God bless you, and I appreciate this honor, and thanks for working with me for the last 20 years. Thank you. Appreciate it.
You know, the short people are always in the front, so I know
yeah, me. I'm right next to
We
you.
were gonna put you on top. That's why I wouldn't have to be on my knees.
Hey, normally Stitch pulls up a stool just to die. Come on, man.
Kevin, we want one for you all too. We want one for you all too.
Franklin? Oh, yeah, that's right.
right, look here on 3. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. Here, perfect. 1, 2, 3.
That's right. Hey, will you get me that picture? Can you get me that picture?
Yes.
No, that's fun.
Oh, yeah.
Got one more.
All right, here we go. 1B, presentation of certificate to Mr. Will Wade, coach of the McNeese State University men's basketball team, in recognition of winning the 2024 Southland Conference Championship. Mr. Hayes.
All right, now it's time to get down to something important. Enough of all these guns and bullets and everything. Let's talk basketball. Oh, my goodness.
He's a has-been. Ron, I think you parked in the wrong spot.
I don't know how many of you guys I talked to last year about this time, but I told you if you were willing to listen, the things were going to change at McNeese, particularly in the basketball program. And most of you took it on faith that I was right. It was going to happen. I'd ask you things like, you got your season tickets yet? You going to game? You ready to go? This new coach, I'm telling you guys, this new coach, I'm telling you. Well, boy, did we find out, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Did we find out what he's all about? He stands up in front of a room of several hundred people and tells them, we're going to win more games than we did last year. I guarantee it. Now, can you imagine? You're standing up in front of folks you don't really know, and you're putting that kind of condition out for your coaching year. And he met it, and he beat it. He beat a whole lot of things, a whole lot of teams. And he did it with class, with style. He would show up at baseball games, volleyball games, soccer games to represent his department, basketball, and to endorse the product that was on the field, whatever it was. I want to read you just a real quick summary of some of the things that he was recognized for after this season, after this spectacular season. He was named Coach of the Year. He led the Cowboys to a 30-4 record in the Southland Conference regular season and tournament championships, the first tournament championship they had in 22 years in the 3rd overall. That's backing up what he had promised way back when. He was also named the Southland Conference and the National Association of Basketball Coaches District 22 Coach of the Year. He was named a finalist for the Jim Phelan and Hugh Durham National Coach of the Year Award. He earned a vote in the Associated Press Coach of the Year. You know how tough that is? You know how long it's been, excuse me, how long it's been since a coach at McNeese has garnered any vote at all in the Associated Press poll? How about never? Until this guy came along. Now, I know you're a little bit excited about the upcoming year. I certainly am. And while we have him here tonight, why don't we ask him about if he's excited or not? Coach, you excited?
Ready to roll.
Let me read the certificate to you, Coach. Certificate of recognition presented by the Calcasieu Parish Police Jury on this, the 23rd day of May, 2024, to Will Wade, head basketball coach, McNeese State University, for leading the men's basketball team to the 2024 Southland Conference Championship and for a record-breaking regular season in the first NCAA tournament since 2002. Congratulations on your accomplishments and on a job well done. Coach?
Thank you, Ron.
Coach, I can echo some of the words that Ron said, but I remember the very first time I met you, it was the McNeese Road Show. And you had just inherited a team that lost 23 games. And your exact words were, I don't see why we can't win 23. When I heard that, you know I didn't believe you, Coach.
Not always right, but I'm always sure.
But you more than lived up to those words, Coach. Just thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Anybody?
Go ahead, take
Okay,
a picture.
taking a picture. Anthony, yes, I just want, Coach, I think it was that men prayer breakfast what motivated them.
I need to go back. That breakfast was about the best I've had in town.
You see that? And it was only $1.
I know.
Coach, thank you for everything, Coach.
Thank you,
Thank
guys.
you. And I saw you in Baton Rouge the other day working, so thank you, Coach.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys.
Coach, one last thing, you're brave, giving Mr. Hayes a hot mic.
I do it every game.
I know. Oh, yeah. Congratulations. You've done this community proud. Star power, you know, it's pretty cool, you know, and I think a lot of eyes got to see the campus. It's good for the university, good for the whole program, obviously, but you know, you kind of gave the kids at school like hey man, we go to a real college, you know, and they have you know what I mean, and that's big time, you know, ESPN on ESPN and things like that, and you just you know represented all of us alumni very well. So congratulations again, and continued success.
Appreciate it. We're just getting started. We're going to be better next year.
I heard that.
Mr. Clement.
I heard that.
Yeah, Coach, first of all, I've been a fan of yours for years. I followed you when you were at some other university in Louisiana. That
I
you
appreciate Ron leaving out I got fired, you know. That's how you know you got a good friend.
But he did turn that program around and quickly when he was there previously, and he's done the same thing back to back. So you definitely were probably one of the best. The athletic administrator was very intelligent. I'll say that because he hired you, and I'd be remiss because I do follow your program. I know you got the guy from Syracuse. I know you got the guy from Arizona State. I know you got the guy from ULL. I know you got the guy from Ole Miss, is it?
Ole Miss.
Ole Miss, and I'm probably missing one or two, but.
We got one from St. Louis.
Yes.
And we've got one from A&M Commerce.
And so kind of
Like
give
Noah's Ark, two of everything. I always say this, I got to have good players to overcome my coaching.
You gave
So I got to keep recruiting.
You gave a forecast last year. Are you going to give
He
one
just
for
said
next
32 games. He said better than 30.
We're going to have a better team this year than we had last year.
year? Great. Look forward to it, and we appreciate
Thank you.
appreciate you and what you've done for the area for sure.
Thank you very much. Congratulations. Thank you, guys.
Hey, Coach, we're going to take a picture with you.
Sorry, I got to get back up.
It's all right. It's all right.
I guess so.
Walk back. No, you good, brother. You good.
In a little bit if you can.
Yeah.
You like each other. All right, look at me. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. Here. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Thank you. Yeah. Got it.
Item 2A, approve application for liquor and
So
beer
moved.
permit.
So moved. Second.
Staff recommends approval of one renewal application. We have a motion by Mr. Abshire and a second by Mr. Lewis. Any discussion? Any objection? Motion carries. 2B.
Move on
Motion to
2B.
approve.
Adopt a resolution approving the following abandonment application, 2300 block of WPA Road in Ward 7. We have a motion by Mr. Markintel and a second by Mr. Stelly. Any discussion? Any objection? Motion carries. 2C, adopt an ordinance approving the following
moved. Second.
rezoning application, 7455 Shoe Peak Road in Ward 4, to rezone from agricultural to light industrial to allow industrial development. We have a motion by Mr. Barris and Mr. Barris and a second by Mr. Abshire. Any discussion? Any objection? We have two blue slips, Burl Beatty and Wayne Abear.
Mr. President, I believe they wish to waive their right to speak if the listed jurors have any questions. for them.
Mr. Barris?
I'm good.
Motion carries. Item 2D, adopt an ordinance approving the following rezoning application, 2211 Patton Street in Ward 4, to rezone from recreational vehicle park to a light industrial,
Move to approve planning and
to
zoning.
allow industrial development. We have a motion by Mr. Clement and a
With
second by Mr. Burley. Any discussion? Any objection? Motion carries. 2E, adopt an ordinance
Motion to approve
approving
with conditions.
the following rezoning application, 1900 block of North Perkins Ferry Road in Ward 1 to rezone from agricultural to general commercial to allow commercial development. We have a motion to approve with conditions by Mr. Quinn and a second by Mr. Stelly. Mr. Quinn? No, Mr. Markintel?
Had the second.
Okay, a motion by Mr. Quinn and a second by Mr. Markintel. Any discussion? Mr. Quinn? Any objection? Motion carries. 2F, adopt ordinances allowing the disposition of the police jury's interest in and the donation of the
2F.
following adjudicated properties. 1, 504 West First Street in Iowa, and 502 V.E. Washington Avenue in Lake Charles. We have a motion by Mr. Stelly and a second by Mr. Smith. Question.
On the V.E. Washington one, Mr. Crane, is that, was the property located next to their church or anywhere?
I think so, Mr. Giller. I
Okay.
think it's right next to it.
Okay, then, all right, thank you, sir.
Any discussion? Any objection? Motion carries. 2G, adopt ordinances rescinding the following
Move on all
condemnation
bullets.
ordinances.
Second.
1, ordinance number 6478, and 2, ordinance number 7605. We have a motion to approve both by Mr. Barris and a second by Mr. Quinn. Any discussion? Any objection? Motion carries. 2H,
Move on all bullets.
authorize the Director of Division of Planning and Development to notify the following property owners to show cause at the public hearing on July 2nd, 2024, as to why the structures on the properties as stipulated should not be condemned. 1, 1100 Park Road, Moss Bluff. 2, 1199 Park Road, Moss Bluff. 3, 1145 Holly Vale Drive, Moss Bluff. 4, 2899 Brighton Lane, Lake Charles. 5, 3412 Knight Lane, Lake Charles. 6, 3400 Knight Lane, Lake Charles. 7, 2310 North Flounder Drive, Lake Charles. 8, 2418 North Flounder Drive, Lake Charles. 9, 7230 Flounder Drive, Lake Charles. 10, 2513 Stingray Drive, Lake Charles. 11, 2517 Stingray Drive, Lake Charles. 12, 7864 Nelson Road, Lake Charles. 13, 5839 Kingsbury Lane, Lake Charles. 14, 2363 Manhide Road, LeBlue Settlement. 15, 3506 Pine Nose Drive, Sulphur. 16, 2917 Spell Road, Vinton. 17, 4010 Sherry Street, Corliss. 18, 307 Thicket Road, Sulphur. 19, 363 Cotton Lane, Moss Bluff. And 20, 270 Reeves Road in Moss Bluff. We have a motion on all bullets from Mr. Burley and a second by Mr. Quinn. Any discussion? Any objection? Motion carries. 3A, approve the minutes of the regular meeting of the police jury dated April 18, 2024. We have a motion by Mr. Lewis and a second by Mr. Quinn. Any discussion? Any objection? Motion carries. 3B, approve the wastewater study committee report dated May 20th, 2024. Mr. Abshar.
Thank you, Mr. President. The wastewater study committee of the police jury met on Monday, May 20th at 4:30 p.m. and received a report from staff regarding proposed revisions to Chapter 26 of the Parish Code of Ordinances relating to community-type sewer system requirements. The proposed changes include minor definition updates, mandatory transfer of new residential community sewer systems to the police jury for operations and maintenance, and a voluntary adoption process for existing systems. Updates to submittal requirements for review and approval by the police jury and LDH, and updates to the road right-of-way allocation plan. The review and comment period is through July 18th, 2024, and will include receipt of a recommendation from the Planning and Zoning Board. I make a motion to receive the report, Mr. President.
We have a motion by Mr. Abshar and a second by Mr. Guillory. Any discussion? Any objection? Motion carries. 3C, approve the parish-wide drainage committee report dated May 20th, 2024. Mr. Barris.
Thank you, Mr. President. The parish-wide drainage committee of the police jury met on Monday, May 20th, and received a report from staff regarding proposed revisions to Chapter 26 of the Parish Code of Ordinances relating to drainage standards. The proposed changes included a waiver of criteria of the full runoff management plan to allow for an abbreviated plan of for minor subdivisions with lots over 3 acres, and provides for a case-by-case review and waiver process for fill mitigation requirements for new developments below the coastal flood surge elevation. The review and comment period is through July 18th, 2024, and will include a receipt of a recommendation from the Planning and Zoning Board. I make a motion, Mr. President, to receive my report.
We have a motion by Mr. Barris and a second by Mr. Markentile. Any discussion? Any objection? Motion carries. 3D, adopt a
Move on
resolution
3D.
ratifying Executive Order 2024-02, which canceled the meetings due to severe weather that was scheduled on May 16, 2024, and reschedule all meetings to May 20th, 2024. We have a motion by Mr. Abshar and a second by Mr. Barris. Any discussion? Any objection? Motion carries. 3E.
Move on 3E.
Adopt a resolution ratifying Executive Order 2024-03 prohibiting marine travel due to high tides and waterways following severe weather. We have a motion by Mr. Burley and a second by Mr. Smith. Any discussion? Any objection? Motion carries. 3F. Adopt a resolution approving an agreement for services provided by the Cooperative
Move on
Extension
3F.
Service and the police jury's continued financial support of those services. We have a motion by Ms. Eason and a second by Mr. Abshar. Any discussion? Any objection? Motion carries. 4A, adopt a resolution approving a professional engineering contract related to the technical review of proposed developments in the unincorporated areas of Calcasieu Parish. We have a motion by Mr. Barris and a second by Mr. Stelly. Any discussion? Any objection? Motion carries. 4B, adopt a resolution approving a professional engineering contract for the Burton
Move on 4B.
Complex
Second.
Sanitary Sewer Rehabilitation Project. We have a motion by Mr. Burley and a second by Mr. Lewis. Any discussion? Any objections? Motion carries.
You gotta do 4A, huh? You missed 4A.
That was B.
Did he miss 4A? Oh, I'm sorry. I wasn't listening.
You sleeping?
Okay.
All right,
I'm
here we
sorry.
go. You just interrupt my flow, did you?
I'm sorry.
4C,
Sorry.
adopt a resolution approving an amendment to the professional engineering contract to include
Move on,
additional
4C.
services for the regional stormwater detention study at Ham Reed Road and Elliott Road. We have a motion by Ms. Eason and a second by Mr. Lewis. Any discussion? Any objection? Motion carries. 4D, adopt a resolution approving a permanent
Second.
public facility servitude agreement for the East Calcasieu Parish Consolidated Waterworks Project. We have a motion by Mr. Quinn and a second by Mr. Stelly. Any discussion? Any objection? Motion carries. 4F, adopt a resolution approving a right-of-way instrument.
4E.
4,
4E.
4E?
D, yeah.
4E. You slipping. That's what I said. Adopt a resolution. Y'all thought I said F. Adopt a resolution approving an active sale for the East Calcasieu Parish Consolidated Water Works projects. We have a motion by Mr. Stelly and a second by Mr. Markentile. Any discussion? Any objection? Motion carries. 4F, adopt a resolution approving a right-of-way
Second.
instrument from the police jury to Entergy Louisiana LLC for Johnny Bro Road. We have a motion by Mr. Barris and a second by Mr. Burley. Any discussion? Any objection? Motion carries. 5A, adopt a resolution approving an amendment to the professional architectural contract to revise the scope of work and payment terms for the Calcasieu Point Landing Hurricane Repairs Project. We have a motion by Mr. Barris and a second by Mr. Quinn. Any discussion? Any objection? Motion carries. 6A,
So move on all bullets.
Second.
adopt a resolution certifying that the Calcasieu Parish Police Jury Housing Choice Voucher Section 8 program, it is categorically excluded from activities and a tenant-based rental assistant program. 6B, adopt a resolution approving a cost reimbursement agreement for participation in the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, Education and Training E&T program. And 6C, acknowledge the submittal of minutes from the Calcasieu Parish Human Services Advisory Board for meetings held on December 12th, 2023 and February 20th, 2024. We have a motion on all bullets by Mr. Guillory and a
Mr.
second by
President.
Mr. Lewis.
I don't think we can take all bullets on,
Mr. President, we'll just have we'll have the items A, B, and C reflected as the same motion in second.
oh, okay.
Okay. Any discussion? Any objection? Motion carries. 7A, approve payment of all current invoices and advise regarding monthly budget to actual
Move on 7A.
comparisons on the general fund.
Second.
We have a motion by Ms.
bills.
Eason and a second by Mr. Lewis. Any discussion? Any objection? Motion carries. 7B, action on bids for one remote control zero-turn mower. Staff recommends the bid of Covington Sales and Service, Inc. in the amount of $67,000 be accepted.
How big is that?
Mr. Markington.
7,000.
Please tell me what this is.
Mr. Wainwright.
Yes, sir. This is a specialty mower for steep slopes and really some marshy wetland areas that we're working with. As you may well know, we have a few old detention ponds and stuff that are really hard to maintain. Some years we get drought, some years we don't. Also on some steep slopes where we're testing, really trying to be able to cut some areas that we really hadn't been able to get to before. So a number of parishes and cities around the state are using this type of equipment going to it. So it is somewhat of a test to see if we can really add it to our fleet and really gain some control of some areas we hadn't been able to get done previously.
I'd like to see it when you get it.
Yes, sir.
No, I mean,
Yeah, I mean, it'd be pretty cool, remote control.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just safety.
It is, and hey, I have no problem with that.
I'd like one of those to operate from my living room.
Yeah.
You can have one.
Motion on
Vote.
seven.
Second.
Motion approved.
Okay, we have a motion by Mr. Quinn and a second by Mr. Markentile. Any other discussion? Any objection? Motion carries. 7C,
Move on 7C.
adopt a
Second.
resolution on bids for the Animal Services Renovation and Site Improvement Project. Staff recommends the low bid of Keelan Construction LLC in the amount of $18,973,000 be accepted. We have a motion by Mr. Burley and a second by Mr. Stelly. Any discussion? Any objection? Motion carries. 7D, action on bids for
So
8
moved.
2024 or newer 1/2 ton extended cab pickup trucks. Staff recommends the low bid of Bolton Ford LLC in the amount of $314,384 be accepted. We have a motion by Mr. Lewis? No, Mr. Guillory,
Yes,
right?
yes.
And a second by, who? By Mr. Lewis. Any discussion? Any objection?
No,
Mo-
these are just half ton. Oh, there's 8 of them, okay. I thought there were 4. I misread it. Continue on, I'm sorry.
Any
I
objection?
wanted to
Are
see
you- are you
these
doing
too,
like
if
these?
they were 4. I'm good, I'm good.
You're interrupting his flow.
I know, I know.
Yeah, y'all killing me here. Motion carries. 7E, action on bids for 2024 newer 1/2 ton extended cab quad door 4-wheel drive pickup truck.
Move on 7E.
Staff recommends the bid of Mike Willis Ford LLC in the amount of $46,665 be accepted. We have a motion by Mr. Markentile and a second by who? Mr. Abshire.
Mr. President,
Barris.
let the record reflect my recusal on item E.
Okay, let the
Please.
record reflect, Mr. Barris recuses himself on this item, 7E. Any discussion? Any objection? Motion carries. 7F,
Move on 7F.
Second.
action on bids for 2 2024 or newer 3/4 ton 12-passenger vans. Staff recommends the bid of Mike Willis Ford LLC in the amount of $105,616 be accepted. We have a motion by Mr. Markentile and a second by Mr. Burley. Mr. Barris.
President, let the record reflect my recusal on item 7F, please.
Okay, the records will reflect that Mr. Barris recuses himself on item 7F. Any discussion? Any objection? Motion carries. 7G, action on bids for the plastic pipes and fittings. Staff recommends the bid of Eunice Coastal Culvert and Supply, Inc.
Motion.
and Coburn Supply Company, Inc. be accepted. We have a motion by Mr.
Second.
Mr. Markentile and a second by Mr. Smith. Any discussion? Any objection? Motion carries. 7H, advertise for requests for proposals for janitorial services for multiple parish properties. We have a,
So move.
we have a motion by Mr. Guillory
Second.
and a second by Mr. Markentile. Any discussion? Any objection? Motion carries. Sir?
No, go ahead.
7I,
Move on
advertise for
7I.
bids for East Calcasieu Parish Consolidated Waterworks Project Phase 1. We have a motion by Mr. Stelly and a second by Mr. Markentile. Any discussion? Any objection? Motion carries. 8A, adopt a resolution of condolences to be forwarded to the family of the late Charles S. Mackey, DDS. Mr. Abshire.
Thank you, Mr. President. I don't know how many of you knew Dr. Mackey. I think there might be a couple of you that served with him. I had the pleasure of knowing him personally. But Dr. Mackey served District 5 for the police jury for nearly 30 years. He was very active in the community. He provided wonderful services to a lot of people. He was a very kind man. I had the pleasure of getting to know him during my campaign for District 5, and he had a lot of wise words for me. He was a good man, and he'll be greatly missed. He was married to Gail Mackey for 67 years. They have 3 children, and he leaves behind a wonderful legacy. So we send our condolences to his family, and I yield back, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Abshire. Mr. Clement.
Yes, I'm one of the lucky ones that did get to serve with Dr. Mackey for 2 terms. And I think when we came in, there was a wad of us. I think, what, we have 6 brand-new jurors at one, or 7?
Yeah, that was 7.
And he was the president when we came in. So we were all rookie, wet behind the ears. And I tell you what, he was such a class guy. I can't give an example. I can't express how he was. I never saw him angry. He had a calm demeanor. He if you ever see just if you got to look up gentleman in the dictionary and there's a picture of Dr. Mackey. He gave to the community. That's all he did. I don't know how he was a practicing dentist. I don't know how he found time, because he donated so much time to the community. And he's one of the rare ones that gave his entire life. He gave 100%, and I don't know that the community appreciates, or I wouldn't say appreciates, I'll say is aware of what we lost when we lost Dr. Mackey. I admire the man, because we were all 40 years, 38 years old, something like that, and he was our elder, and he just took us under his wing and helped us through getting adjusted. But he was one of the ones, when you get through, you kind of reflect back of the quality people you've met in this job that all the police jurors have. I mean, and he is that guy that I admire him, and I'm just glad I got to experience his friendship while I was here for the time. But thank you. I yield back.
Thank you, Mr. Clemens. Motion, can we get a
Motion to adjourn.
Meeting adjourned.